All right, 1 minute, guys. All right, welcome everyone. Welcome to Hindi University. We'll get the class started in like just a few minutes. I want to just share it on a couple of groups, and that's all. Um, all right, let's get started. Welcome everyone. Really excited to have all of you this Sunday in the Hindi class. As you know, we meet every Sunday, 8 a.m. US Pacific time, and which is the time in the west coast of the US, and we learn about the Hindi language. For those of you who are new to Hindi University, you can learn more about us by going to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Hindi University, and you'll find all the videos that we have, previously recorded videos. If you want to join the Sunday classes, you can get all the details here in this link, which is tiny.cc/Hindi University. The topics are divided based on the each of the topics. Basically, the classes are divided accordingly. So based on your level, you can also brush up some of the previous concepts as well, and you'll find the details here. um, Lately we've been covering a book called Teach Yourself Hindi, which is the book written by Professor Rupert Snell. You'll find a link of the book there. You can get it from Amazon as well. And we've been going over systematically from this book. And right now we will be starting in this class a new chapter called chapter number 16. This one is intermediate to advanced level topic, but I'll still make sure that you can um, you know follow along some of the concepts that I'll be doing in this class. Okay. As always, participation is encouraged. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask and share with your other participants in the class. Okay. So with that in mind, let's get started. By the end of this class, my goal is all of you will at least have the basic understanding of conjunctive verbs. Okay, and we'll learn about how to use them effectively in Hindi. Okay, and we've discussed it previously in chapter number 7 when we were covering this book, Teach Yourself Hindi, but um, there it was just like an introduction of it. Now we'll go systematically about what they are, how to use them. Okay, um, so conjunctive verbs. So we'll start with definition first, and then examples, and then more advanced examples. So what are the conjunctive verbs? So these are the verbs that are formed. So these are the verbs that are formed. Let me just make sure that everyone is muted. Okay. So these are the verbs that are formed when you when you add noun or an adjective. Okay, with a verb. Okay, those are called conjunctive verbs. Okay, so you have a noun or an adjective that is joined with a verb, hence they are called conjunctive verbs. Okay, some of the very basic example, and you guys probably have heard me saying it to you like in the past, especially when it is too difficult for you to figure out the name of a new verb, what it is called in Hindi. In the past I've told you, for example, to do homework. It might be very difficult for you to just immediately come up with the verb, right? So I told you, like, take the approach where you can use this word as an English, which is homework, and use it with just a verb here, to do, and you can call it homework karna. Okay, some people may argue that you are using English here, but so be it. Right now, for the time being, as you're learning, you can say it's okay. It will be called homework karna. Okay, so 1 minute, and I'm gonna add some people join just now, so I'm gonna add them. Okay, so homework karna would be an example of conjunctive verb as well. Okay, what are the other examples to similarly, let's say, exercise? Okay, to do an exercise. Now it may be very difficult immediately to come up with a verb for that, like what is exercise, to do exercise in Hindi. So there you can also say, use it with karna. Okay, and you can call it exercise karna. That's another example of, a conjunctive verb. So if you basically sum it up, what you have done here is you have taken a noun or an adjective. Along with that, you have used karna. You used karna, and you will be using forms of karna. That's the most common conjunctive verb. Okay, the most common conjunctive verb. Most common is where you will be using noun and an adjective and the form of karna to create that verb. Okay, let's look at, so far the examples I have used, they're purely, you're using an English word at the beginning. Now let's look at some of the you know examples where you will not be using English words. What are those? So let's say you have in front of you, there are two examples that Rupert has also used in his book. Let's say you have to start. So 1 minute, I think some folks just joined. So let's say you, in front of you, have to start. Okay, what is it called in Hindi? Let's say, Tom, you want to unmute yourself and tell us what is to
Yes,
start?
I'm sorry, Professor. I do not know.
Okay, it's okay. Let's
Can
say
I
you don't
say,
know.
can I?
Okay, so one person at a time. So I'm gonna first mute everyone. So let's say who's gonna go first? It was Trisha. Okay,
Can
so
I?
okay, Anushka, why don't you go?
Start karna.
Start karna. Okay, you can say that if you don't know the Hindi word
I
for it.
know the Hindi word.
Okay, what is that?
Shuru karna.
Very good, right? So you will do shuru karna. Okay, so that's a conjunctive verb, an example of conjunctive verb. Okay, uh, let's do one more. To clean. And in case if I don't ask anyone and if you don't feel like sharing it, you can always use the chat to share it, right? To clean. Uh, let's say, Trisha, you want to go for this one? To clean. What is to clean in Hindi?
Saaf karna.
Saaf karna. Okay, so it is pretty evident that you took the noun or an adjective in these cases, and along with that you used karna. So far so good, there should not be any problem, right? So even if you have a very simple sentence in Hindi, which is I start work at 9 a.m. and I want all of you to write it in the chat, your simple quiz, and I want all folks who are watching Facebook also. I start work at 9 a.m. You know the verb, you know to start, you know most likely you know work also in Hindi, what it's called, and then a simple pronoun that you have it here. Okay, that's fine. Okay, great, Vatsalaji. Tom, I'm going to ask you because now we have the verb in front of us. How will you say that? I start work at 9 a.m.
Yes, am I unmuted, Professor? Oh, yes,
Yeah,
thank you.
You are. Yep.
Yes, Professor. May
Uh-huh.
now baje kam shuru karta hun.
Very good, right? So you said मैं 9 बजे काम शुरू करता हूँ. Hopefully this should be simple for everyone. Okay, and Trisha and Anushka, if it is difficult, raise your hand and I'll find out. Okay, but to sum up, I is मैं, 9 o'clock. As you know, in Hindi, time we use it as baje, right? So मैं 9 बजे, work is काम, and then you have to start. So the verb is shuru karna, but because it is written in present indefinite, you remove na and you remove ta because it's Tom. If Anushka, you or Trisha, you are saying it, you will be saying main 9 baje kaam shuru. You'll remove this ta and you'll remove na and you'll put t. मैं 9 बजे काम शुरू करती हूँ. Okay, hopefully this should be simple. Okay, we are not really doing anything major here. However, I want you to notice right now one thing. When we are using this conjunctive verb start karna, there is an object. Okay, work is an object that is receiving the action. Who is the subject? You, because you are starting the work. Okay, so this is, remember, that's the difference right now. This is the object. Okay, now let's look at some more examples. To clean. To clean. So let's say you have another example for conjunctive verb. You will say I clean a room. Okay, in this case also you have a subject, you have verb, which is the to clean, a conjunctive verb. Along with that you have an object. You are cleaning something, right? In this case the room is being cleaned. Okay, you will get to know why I'm emphasizing on the object part. Simona ji, you want to tell us how will you say that in Hindi? I clean a room.
मैं एक कमरा साफ करती हूँ.
Very good, right? So you have मैं एक कमरा, a room is एक कमरा, and साफ करना, so you remove the na and you put मैं एक कमरा साफ करती हूँ. For you remove the na and you put ti. Okay, so far so good. Very simple two examples, but in both the examples you have an object that is receiving the action of the verb. Okay, what do you think it is? Both the examples. Now the quiz is to start and to clean. What kind of verb are they? Are they transitive verb or intransitive verb? And I want you to use the chat and tell me whether it is transitive or intransitive and why. Okay, so I see some of you participating in the chat. Okay, good. Okay, so across the board, everyone is saying it's transitive verb. Awesome. Nandini ji, you have to unmute yourself. Tell us why it is transitive verb.
Karna is doing something. You can always do something. Someone will be doing the act and something will be done. So it is a transitive verb.
It is a transitive verb. Okay, awesome. Now let's see. So far you had an example of I start work at 9 a.m. What if I write a sentence differently and I say work starts at 9 a.m. Okay, same verb. Is there an object here, Nandini ji?
Something starts, but it's calm is not, no. Something
Can't
starts.
is a subject
But it's
noun.
not, nobody is, yeah,
I
Yeah.
don't,
there
Yeah.
isn't.
I don't think
Okay. So
anything's being done. You don't do anything, right? You wouldn't use
Yeah.
Karna in this case.
Yeah.
yeah, that's good. So you will not using karna. Okay. But
Oh,
to
you have to
start,
use, I guess.
okay. So what do you think? To start, is it
Shuru
in,
hota hona? हाँ,
okay?
हाँ,
We will get to
हाँ.
that. But is it still a transitive verb or it is intransitive now?
This is now not a transitive verb.
Okay. Okay. So you are saying it's not a transitive verb. So what it is then? Is there an object?
It appears to be a subject. What starts at 9? The work starts at 9.
Okay. But there's no object. That's what you're saying.
Yes, there's no object.
Okay.
No
Good
what
observation.
or who.
Okay. There's no object. Good observation there. Okay. Let's look at another example. So far we did to start, which is shuru karna, to clean, saaf karna. Okay. Now let's say you have similarly, you have room gets cleaned. Same thing, same verb. Is there an object?
Trick questions.
Yeah. Yeah. So in summary, in the case of English, same verb is serving the purpose of, in both the sentences. You're not making any changes there. It can be used as transitive, it can be used as intransitive. When there is an object, you can still use the same verb. When there is no object, you can still use the same verb. Okay. In Hindi, it differs. In the previous case, to start is we said shuru karna. Okay, so when there is an object in Hindi, you said shuru karna. When there is no object, you will use it as shuru hona. Okay, similarly, when you had to clean, you had saaf karna. When there is no object, when it is used as an intransitive verb, you will say saaf hona. So that's your sort of rule number one. There is no easy way for me to cover it, so you will have to memorize it. Okay, this is hard one. So if you are beginner, just hang in there, just learn it as it is. So all of them are, first of all, conjunctive verbs. Why they are conjunctive? Because the noun or an adjective is used along with the verb karna. Okay. The second thing we learn is when these are transitive, when there's an object, you are using the noun and adjective, and after that you're using karna. Second thing we learned is if there is no object and when they are intransitive, instead of karna, we will use the noun or an adjective. Along with that, we use hona. Okay, so now let's see how will we say work starts at 9 a.m. All of you can type it in the Zoom chat or on Facebook and tell us how will you say that. When it was I start work at 9 a.m., you said मैं 9 बजे काम शुरू करता हूँ. Okay. How will you say this part? Work starts at 9 a.m. Kinga ji, you want to tell us?
काम शुरू
हाँ.
होता है
काम
शुरू होता है
Okay. काम कितने बजे शुरू होता है?
9 बजे शुरू होता है
Very good, right? So काम 9 बजे शुरू होता. Awesome. You see, it's not that difficult, right? काम 9 बजे शुरू होता है, right? So work is used as a subject here, right? So calm is nothing but work here. Okay. Trisha and Anushka, is it difficult? Is it easy? Thumbs up, thumbs down.
It's easy. Like now.
Okay. In midway, okay. Hang in there, okay. But for you right now, just remember to start is, if you want to remember, very easiest one. Right now, stick with the transitive one. Shuru karna. That's the most commonly used one. Okay, for now, if you don't want to get confused, just remember shuru karna is the one that you have to use repetitively. Yeah. Okay. I think someone's voice is breaking up, but it's all good. Will you can use chat if you want to share something, and then let's do the next one, which is the soft one, right? The other example. The other one we did was room gets cleaned.
Can
I
I
guess,
try saying it?
yeah, you can say it.
Uh, कर कमरा
Uh-huh.
कमरा साफ होना. How do you say gets?
So don't get confused with that. Just use the verb saaf karna with saaf hona in the form of it in present tense.
कमरा साफ होना है.
You remove the na and you will put kamra is masculine singular. Considers
It's masculine.
singular. Yes. So remember, मैं करता हूँ. So I remove na and put ta. Okay. Similarly, kamra saaf.
कमरा साफ होता है.
Very good. कमरा साफ होता है. Okay, this is written in passive voice. That's why sometimes it can throw you off. But you're absolutely right. कमरा साफ होता है. Okay, great job there. Okay, so far so good, right? This is the most basic form of using the conjunct verb. Okay, so we'll keep on going. Let's do some more quizzes just so that everyone is together. Okay, so let's say you have somebody were to tell you, like, the movie, similar to those lines, you have movie ends at movie ends at 3 p.m. Okay, movie ends at 3 p.m. All of you can use the Zoom chat and try saying it in Hindi. That way all of you will get a chance. The movie ends at 3 p.m. Just like we have to start, think of it as the opposite. Okay.
How do you say end in Hindi?
Yeah. So anybody would like to give it a try? Okay.
खत्म करना खत्म.
Okay. Very good. So if it is used in transitive, it's basically khatam karna. If it used as intransitive, it's khatam hona.
Teacher, how do you say ends in Hindi?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, to end is basically khatam karna. If it is used as a transitive verb, if it is used as intransitive, is khatam hona.
Okay.
Yeah. So now let's see, Vatsalaji, you want to give it a try? And everyone else, you can follow along, or you can also use the chat to respond or to tell us.
मूवी 3 बजे खत्म होती है.
Very good, right? So you can say film or movie 3 बजे खत्म होती है. Ji, tell us why did you use hoda first and not karna?
Because it is not transitive.
Okay, awesome. And why did you use hoti and not hota or hote?
I just felt like movie was feminine.
That's right. So movie is considered feminine. Okay. That's why you said movie 3 baje khatam hoti hai. Okay. Now let's say if you are telling someone, your work is very busy, which most likely it is, and you're like me, my work it gets done at like 9 p.m. How will you say that? My work, it gets done or it finishes it ends at 9 p.m.
मेरा काम 9 बजे खत्म होता है.
Okay, good. मेरा काम 9 बजे खत्म. Awesome. खत्म होता है. Okay, मेरा काम 9 बजे खत्म होता है. Okay, hopefully everyone is following along, right? I mean, it's so far we are using the present forms, like we are using hona changed to hota, hoti, hote. Okay, now let's try experimenting with different scenarios. Okay, so this time I want to see someone who's not tried before. So let's see. Olena ji, okay. So let's see if Olena, you will be trying this one, okay. So let's say you go to a function, and you're waiting, and you want to know from someone, like what time the program will start, okay. So your question is, when will the program start? That's what your question is, Olena ji. So you will first say that in Hindi, and their answer is, the program will start at 4 p.m. If it is hard, start with this one first and then try to come up with a question. The program will start at 4 p.m. and then-
प्रोग्राम कितने बजे
Uh-huh.
शुरू होएंगे?
Okay. So it's singular.
Yes.
Program is singular, so it will be
होएगा.
okay. Awesome. So program कितने बजे शुरू? So I will say hoga, but hoega is not incorrect. It's correct. You will see people using hoega as well. Okay. So stay motivated there. It's just like it'll come natural to me, hoga. Okay. But it's it's correct as well. Hoega. You can say that. Okay. Program कितने बजे शुरू होगा? Now tell us. This one should be simple. You are asking someone like, okay, बहुत देर हो गई. It's been a while. बहुत देर हो गई है. Okay. I'm using a compound verb there. हो गई है. Okay. And then how will they respond to you?
प्रोग्राम 4 बजे शुरू होगा.
Very good, right? Program 4 बजे शुरू होगा. Let's see. Anyone who is finding it difficult still, don't be shy. You can ask right now. We are still, at the basics of the conjunct verb. So we can always backtrack it. Anyone? Susan Ji, are you able to follow it? Easy, hard?
जी हाँ सर.
Follow it? Okay, good.
I'm following. Yes.
Awesome.
प्रोग्राम 4 बजे शुरू हो
होगा.
जाएगा.
What is that question?
What?
Yeah, try one more time, Anushka. Are you asking a question or you're just saying the
I'm
sentence?
saying that.
Okay, good. I thought you're asking. Good, good, awesome. Hopefully it makes sense. So just to recap for everyone, if it is hard, think of it as like we had to start shuru karna, and to clean is saaf karna, and just like shuru karna, you have khatam karna. If it is very hard, everything, just stick with the transitive form of the verb till you get a handle of it. Okay. In all the other examples we use them as intransitive. That's why karna is replaced with hona. So it's shuru hona, saaf hona, khatam hona. Okay. Awesome. So far so good. So this is the most basic form of conjunct verb. There's more to it, which makes it a little bit more interesting. So now we'll do some part of it, and because this is a complex topic, it's going to continue till next class as well. So what I want to do is deconstruct the other forms of conjunct verb. So far, no complexity, there's nothing that is coming before shuru karna or shuru hona, right? There are some conjunct verbs, when you use them in Hindi, they carry some extra stuff with them. Okay, extra post positions along with them. Okay. So right now, if you see program shuru hoga, let's say there was no time here. Okay, and your sentence will be program will start, and you will say program shuru hoga, no problem there. But not all conjunct verbs are like that. Some are very needy, right? They want extra stuff. So the second form of the verbs will be needing, before you have your object, okay, or before you have your after subject you will have an object, and before you have the conjunct verb there will be some post positions. Okay, so we will be covering those. Maybe what I'm saying right now doesn't make sense, but let's say when we do the examples, it'll make much more sense. Okay, so let's start with a very simple one. And if you recall, hopefully you remember, to help. And I want all of you to type it in Zoom. How do you say to help in Hindi? Both, let's say you know the word for help, how will you say it? And if you don't know the word for help in Hindi, how will you say it? Okay, awesome. Good, so I got both of them. So to help, you said is help karna. Okay, and you can also say madad karna. So you have a the madad karna. So far so good, right? Madad karna. And if your sentence is a very simple one, I help. So I want one guy and one girl. So let's say, Tom, you want to tell us how will you say I help?
Yes, please, Professor. Again, may madat kartohun.
मैं मदद करता हूँ. And that's for a male. Kingaji, how will you say it? I help.
मैं मदद करती हूँ.
Right, so you'll say मैं मदद करती हूँ. That's for a female, right? मैं मदद करता हूँ, मैं मदद करती हूँ. But when you help someone, right? You help someone, right? So in this case, let's say you are helping Ron. Okay, Tom, how will you say the same thing now? I help Ron.
I believe we're going to add a postposition now to identify the person to whom the help is being given.
Yes,
So,
you are right.
मैं
Mhm.
Ron की मदद करता हूँ.
So earlier you had मैं मदद करता हूँ, right? Ron
Yes.
is there, so I just put Ron. You used an interesting word here. What is that you used? मैं
This
Ron.
key, so
Okay.
this key identifies to whom the help is directed.
So you use a post position, and you are saying it says to whom. Okay, to whom the help is being directed. Okay, but why did you use key? Why not you use ka or k? Let's say I agree with you that you have to use post position because you have to direct the help.
And I've
I
reached my limit, Professor. Why do we use key, my friends?
I think it's because mother is feminine.
Okay, great. Anyone else agree with you? Let's see who agrees with what Trisha is
Yes,
saying. Yeah, and who is that?
it's me, Nandini. It's
Nandini ji.
किसी
Okay,
की मदद करना.
okay. So all of you are
Help
agreeing that
someone.
yeah, all of you are agreeing because mother is feminine. It's considered feminine. That's why you used um, key here. Okay. So this comes to the point I was trying to make, that when we use shuru karna or khatam karna or saaf karna, those are the most basic form of conjunct verb. But in this case, what happens is madad karna, you will be learning it as ki madad karna, ki madad karna, and ki is basically used with the object basically, and it's used because this ron is there. It's used with ki, ron ki madad karna. Okay, if there is a pronoun aap, मैं आपकी मदद करता हूँ. Okay, if it is him or her, it will become he plus she, which is वह and then की. So मैं उसकी मदद करता हूँ. Okay, so this is your second form of conjunct verb, which is basically, think of it, and Rupert Snell, it writes it differently, but what he's trying to say is, you between the object and the base form of your conjunct verb, they are using ka, ke, and ki. Okay, and how do you determine ka, ke, ki? It's based on the gender of your base noun. Okay, because mother is considered feminine, you are using ki madad karna. Okay. Okay, so let's do some more examples here. Okay, so when you had, regardless of whoever you are helping, okay, if it is I help Sarah, I will still say मैं Sarah की मदद करता हूँ. It's not like based on this. Okay, मैं Sarah की मदद करता हूँ. So let's see. So I'm going to write down a quick table for you. These are the some of the most commonly used conjunct verb for the other form, and then we'll do examples of it, and I want all of you to participate. So first I'll try to do just like right now, because for the sake of example I used to help, which is ki madad karna. That's a feminine one. So in the table, first I'm going to write the masculine ones. Okay, what are those? To arrange. And for those of you who are already ahead of it, you can write it. Let's say this is for everyone. To arrange, how do you say that in Hindi? And to arrange is to arrange.
Arrange karna.
Okay, you can say that arrange karna. And let's say you have to say it in Hindi. Kingaji, what do you think?
How
To
do you
arrange.
say
इंतजाम करना.
Intizam karna, right?
how do you say arrange in Hindi?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's intizam karna, right? Intizam karna. So typically, because it is the second form of conjunct verb, you will be using ka intizam karna. Okay, ka intizam karna. To arrange is, I'm going to write intizam karna, but because this is a masculine one, you will be using it. You know. So let's say the example is I will arrange tickets. And I want you to do as a homework exercise, all of you, I will arrange the train tickets. You can type it right now, or you can do it in during the week. I will arrange the train tickets. How will you say that in Hindi? All of you can try that. Okay, so this is the first one. To arrange is ka intizam karna. The second one I have is to wait for.
Can I do the first one?
You basically this. What do you want to do? This part, the sentence.
Yes.
This is sort of, think of it as a homework exercise. So you can type it right now if you feel like doing
Okay.
it. Yeah, or you can do in the homework. Okay. The next one I have is to wait for. Okay. So let's see, Olina ji, what do you think? To wait for in Hindi is
इंतजार करना.
intezar karna. Okay, very good. So this one was intezam karna.
Mhm.
This one is intezar karna. Okay, and this is also ka intezar karna. Okay, so just like we have I will arrange the ticket, the homework exercise for all of you is, okay, so I can see all of you are trying the first one. That's good. The second one, let's say I will, so let's say this one I'm going to give it difficult. I waited for you, and maybe we will revisit it after I write all of them. I
How
waited
do you
for.
say waited in Hindi?
So the way you will do it is, first you should know how to do the verb to wait. If you know this one, it should be relatively easier. Okay, which is basically is used in the past tense, right? So to wait for is the what do I call it, the infinitive form of the word, which is ending with na. But when it is used in a sentence, it is used in a particular way. In this case, it is used in the past form. Okay, we'll revisit it, and for the time being, I'm going to leave it to you guys, all of you, to brainstorm and think about it and write it in chat. Once I finish the table, let's see how to, if you still have difficulty there. Okay, so the next one I have is to, and this one, let's say Vatsalaji, I want you to try this one. So this one is to use. To use. Are you familiar with that, Vatsalaji?
How do you say use in Hindi?
Wait, I'm doing it.
It's
Let's not.
I
Yeah.
am. I know the
Yeah,
word
okay.
for
Yeah.
use.
Anyone else?
आशु जी इस्तेमाल करना.
Very good, right? So it is istemal karna. Istemal karna. And this is also, because it's considered masculine, you will be using with ka. Right? Istemal karna. And
Ashu Ji, can you use upyog in this case as well?
you
or
can
no?
say that. Yes, you can say that. So the question was, can I use the word upyog? Which is correct. You can say that, right?
What does upyog in Hindi mean?
Same thing, to use. Okay,
Okay.
to use something. Yeah. Uh, so far so good, right? Anyone? So this one is something for you to memorize. Like, you know, all of you should know the second form of the conjunct verb, to arrange, intizam karna. To wait for is intizar karna, and to use is istemal karna. So it can be difficult to, because they all, in a way, they all sound so similar. Intizam, intizar, istemal. Like, but you know, it's just like you have to memorize it. Okay. Um, and I'll write one more, and then after that I can take a, a quick break to talk with you guys. Okay. So the next one I have is to follow. To follow. Okay.
How do you say follow in Hindi?
Yes. I'm getting to that, right? I go a bit slow, right? So to follow. How do you say that in Hindi? So that's basically का पीछा करना. Picha karna, right? To follow someone. So that's also you will be using with the postposition ka. Ka picha karna, right? So you have a pa with e, cha with a, picha, and then you have karna, right? Picha karna. Okay. So far so good. Let me take a pause here. Questions? Anyone?
May I make a comment, please, Ashu
Yes, please
Ji?
do. Please do. Please
One
do.
of the secrets in using these particular verbs, which have to be recognized as using these adjunct forms, the additional word form, just knowing the gender of the conjunctive base noun.
That's right. That's right. So what let me translate it. What you know Tom is saying is, the why we are using ka in all of them, because the base form in all these cases is masculine. Okay. Intizam, intizar, istemal, upyog, picha, all these are the base noun of your conjunctive verb. If all of them are masculine, you'll be using ka. If they are feminine, you will be using ki. So in the second table that I'll be covering, and maybe we can cover it in the next class so that we can play around with the sentences. Right? I love doing more sentences so you guys feel comfortable. So in the next class, let's say, for example, to help, we did that, right? And we considered the help is considered feminine. Right? So help karna, within help karna, help is the base noun of your conjunct verb. And when it is used in a sentence, it's, you know, follows ki along with that, right? Ki help karna, right? मैं Tom की help करता हूँ, right? That regardless of whether I'm saying it or whether Rita ji is saying it or whether it is like, you know, anyone else is saying that, right? It's the same thing. So any other questions or comments? Anyone? That's a good point, actually. That's a solid one, Tom.
I've got a question. Is it the picha karna? Is it used in a sense to follow somebody, to go after somebody, or to follow somebody on Instagram, or because follow karna is commonly used, and is it really used, picha karna?
The former one, it's the, like, you know, the like, you know, that the bad guy is following me. In that context, you will be using picha karna. Like if you follow someone on Instagram or on Twitter, that's not a follow. That's like a more contemporary word in that context,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes. So picha karna is used in everyday life. It's not
Yes.
only follow.
Yeah, like, you know, so for, you know, if you can, basically if you call a police and you're like, you know, this guy is following me,
I see.
ये आदमी मेरा पीछा कर रहा है. Okay,
Okay.
So in this case, pizza karna is used in a negative connotation. It has a negative connotation versus the one that you are talking about, like to follow someone on Facebook, that has a positive connotation that,
Yeah,
but that's a
thank
good question, a great question there.
Is upyog feminine or masculine?
Upyog is masculine. Yeah. Anyone else?
Ashu Ji, one question, please. And for Mother Karna, we can also use the Hayata Karna, right?
Sahayata karna. Which one? That's right. So to help.
But
Yeah.
would that also be masculine or feminine?
What do you think?
Well, I have no idea. That's what I'm
You have no
asking.
idea. Okay. Okay. So the question is to help is madad karna, but the question is, can I use another word which is sahayata karna, which is, this is a longer one. So let me write it down. Hopefully you can read it. Sahayata. Sahayata karna. Can I say that? Yes, you can say that. मैं आपकी सहायता करता हूँ. It is considered feminine. Okay.
Does that mean to help?
Yes, that's right. It means to help. Okay. Okay. That's right. That's a great one as well. That's a great addition in our list. Anyone else? Okay. So far, so good, right? Anything that is difficult or it's off? Okay. Let's see. So now I'm gonna so you have this table in front of you, okay, and we have about 7-8 minutes. It's better to do some more complex exercises, right, using the sentences that we just did. And I want you to, all of you, to try it, right? So especially folks who have not had a chance to try it out, it's better that you challenge yourself and and say it in Hindi. Okay, so let's say this one: I waited for you. I waited for you, and this is a very common one, right? Because we we wait for someone, right? So we wait. I waited for you for hours. Let's say I make it a little bit more interesting for you. I want all of you to try it out, and don't say it right now. Okay, don't say it. Just write it in chat. Okay, I want to see how the different flavors of sentences you come up with. Okay, you know how to say to wait. Okay. You are familiar with this pronoun, you are familiar with this pronoun, and you may be familiar with this one, right? Okay. The second one I'm going to give you is basically I will use let's say, so I while I'm writing it, I hope you are all working on this one. The I'm missing it now. How about this one only, the one that I wrote it down? I waited both of them. Why don't you try this and this one? It's easier one. It's right in front of us. So I will arrange the train tickets and I waited for you for hours. How will you say both of them in Hindi?
Can I try?
Why don't you write it first, beta? It'll be easier. So first write it in the chat, and then I'm gonna ask everyone. Yeah. Okay. So remember, this is used in the past tense. Okay, Rita ji, good one. Everyone, just remember that I waited for you. If you're saying it, I wait for you, that's the present tense. Okay, and Okay, awesome. So let's see the first one, which is I will arrange the train tickets. I will arrange the train tickets. So first, let's see who did what here. Someone who hasn't had a chance yet, who has not said anything, they want to go for it. I will arrange the train tickets. Let's give them the chance. How will you say that? I will arrange the train tickets.
मैं
Uh-huh.
like that. मैं ट्रेन टिकट्स का
Uh-huh.
इंतजाम करूंगी.
Very good. मैं train tickets.
का इंतजाम
Okay. का इंतजाम.
करूंगी.
Very good.
करूंगी.
And what's your name?
नंदिनी.
Nandini ji. So I'm missing your voice today. I'm sorry. I should have recognized your voice.
It's okay.
The videos are off these days, so sometimes I
Yeah.
really. So मैं train tickets का इंतजाम करूंगी. Awesome. मैं train tickets का इंतजाम करूंगी. Okay. If Tom is saying it, how will he say that, Nandini ji?
You'll say मैं ट्रेन टिकट्स का इंतजाम करूंगा.
Very good. Okay. मैं train tickets का इंतजाम करूंगा. Okay. Instead of train tickets, if it is something else, how will you? Will you still?
Whatever it is, it'll be का इंतजाम करूंगी.
Okay, इंतजाम.
Well,
So-
I'll wait for the plane. Whatever. I'll arrange for a plane or whatever it is. I'll arrange a marriage and still be का इंतजाम.
So whether it is taxi or whether it is something else, you will still use ka intezam.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. Great. मैं ट्रेन टिकट का इंतजाम करूंगा for guy, for a girl. मैं ट्रेन टिकट का इंतजाम करूंगी. Okay. So let's say this one. I waited for you. Trisha, you want to give it a try on this one?
Yes.
Trisha, either of you? I waited for you. Huh?
मैं आपका इंतजाम करूंगी.
इंतजाम. इंतजार. Okay. मैं इंतजार. Okay. And the word. So the करना. Form of
मैं आपका इंतजार करना है.
Okay. So let's see. So this is clear. There has to be मैं. Great job there. There has to be आप because you have you. Kai has to be there because it's intizar, and then the form of karna. Right? Two things
Yes.
we have to work on. Right? First, which tense it is? Is it a present tense or past tense or future?
Past.
Great. Right? So, and is it, so when the transitive verb, when it is used in the past tense, we use a postposition along with a pronoun मैं. Which one is that? And because you probably not attended, you joined us recently, you may not be familiar with this rule, but you will be using with मैं, you used a postposition called ne.
What does name mean?
So ne is just like ka, it's a postposition. It's a postposition which is used when the transitive verbs are used in the past tense along with the pronoun. Okay, it's hard to tell the specific equivalent in English, but this is मैंने आपका इंतजार. Now karna, okay, it has to be used in the past tense. If you are doing it right now, you will say मैं इंतजार करती हूँ. Okay, मैं पापा का इंतजार करती हूँ, right? But because it's past, karna will be
करने.
Yeah.
किया.
Is it Kia? Yeah.
Very good, right? Kiya. Awesome. Kiya. Not the car Kia, okay, but like this one, Kiya. मैंने आपका इंतजार किया. Okay, मैंने आपका इंतजार किया. Now for hours. Okay, so this is like a casually in Hindi you will say मैंने घंटों आपका इंतजार किया. Like hour is used, you know, in Hindi it's you know, एक घंटा is 1 hour, 2 hour is 2 घंटे, 3 hours is 3 घंटे. Okay, but it's in a casual Hindi, you will say मैंने घंटों आपका, कई घंटों आपका इंतजार किया. Okay, this one is hard for you, Trisha and Anushka, so don't worry about it. I won't expect you to know, but great that you took the courage to just give it a try, right, without any fear. So keep that up, right?
Ashu Ji,
Ashu Ji?
Yeah.
Sorry.
you
Yeah, please.
use ghanto because of the postposition के लिए, or you don't?
So where do you see ke liye here?
4 hours, you waited 4 hours, or
4
is it,
hours.
or is it say, or is it a postposition that you put ganto, or because I know, is that?
So in my mind, it is basically it's an oblique case of because I am not writing tak here because it's followed with another word called ganto tak.
Oh, okay. So
Ashu Ji,
that would be
may
the postposition.
So that's
I just interfere?
yeah, please.
I was going to ask the same, but I just realized it's because of the aap. Is it aapka that changed the gante to ganto?
That is true, but that's also true. Like because of aapka, that's actually a better explanation. What she's saying is,
Ours, it's a plural is gante, and
yeah,
because it's coming before the aapka,
that's
that
correct.
aapka influences it to change into ganto. I was just going to ask that question and it just clicked when she said
That's
ke liye, and then it made sense. When Sharmila ji talked about ke liye, it made sense.
Yeah. So if it is 1 hour, it's a ghanta. It is plural, it's do ghante. But what she's saying is because of this postposition, you will use the oblique case of ghante. So it becomes ghanto tak. Okay. So this is just like ladka. The oblique case, ladka is one ladka, ladke is plural,
Oh, okay. All right. I completely forgot about the car.
right? Right. So
Yeah.
and then because ladke ka becomes ladkon ka.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Me too,
Thank
Sharmila
you.
ji.
Thank
It's
you.
only you raised it, and so I relaxed.
Yeah. Awesome. So for the folks who are watching live on Facebook, I'm going to stop the broadcast. Thank you so much.